We finally know why everyone's leaving FaZe. We know FaZe is about to be in some trouble. If it's as bad as it seems, it may really be the end of FaZe. So let's get into the video and let's see what's actually going on. Also, I'm gonna put my Instagram and my Discord down in the description. Feel free to send me over videos that you want to see me react to, things of that nature. But other than that, let's get into the video.
Don't care who you are. Don't care if it's my own brother, bro. You're my brother. I'm snitching. I'm sorry, but like, that's just wrong. And brother, everything I say on my mother's heartbeat, everything I'm saying is true. And I just genuinely hope he can confess to it. This dude looks me in my eyes and says, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I had a threesome with two 16-year-olds. I'm like, bro, what? Like, what? How?
You gotta believe somebody. They done put it on a mama's heartbeat, boy. On a mama's heartbeat. You gotta believe it. Why would you even go that far?
How could you tell me that?
We're all face, and I end up going back with these girls to my hotel room. I slept with one of them, and I found out after that this girl was 17.
And I don't know what to do or what to say at this point, but all I can say is, I mean, if it hasn't been said enough already on this call, stay away from underage girls, boys and girls. We have a lot of young men watching this stream right now. It's clearly and obviously not worth it. We're talking about a company and a brotherhood that was built over the course of how long, Rain? 15 years more or less, right? And it's clearly coming to an end, you know?
If you thought FaZe was coming apart as it seems before, then man, oh man, this takes the cake. Yesterday, a member of the original FaZe group, FaZe Rain, came to social media with some shocking news that a lot of people weren't expecting. It was totally out of the blue, out of the random, but at this specific time in the state that FaZe is in right now, where Banks is off the internet, Max just left for some very cryptic reasons. To be quite honest with you, this is the last thing that they needed, but the world needed to hear the fact that one of the members in the FaZe clan was having sexual relations with somebody who was a child, underage.
I want to put everything to do with me and FaZe to rest, bro, because there is so much I haven't said. And honestly, at this point, bro, I don't give a I think I'm going to collect my thoughts tomorrow and I'm going to say everything, bro. Every single thing that I know. And I'm going to collect my thoughts because I have an eidetic memory, so I remember everything and anything. Not only did you guys...
He said eidetic? Why didn't he say like photographic memory? Or perfect memory. Eidetic. That's a new word. Maybe he memorized that word. You know? Anywho.
Air me out. Y'all mother sold me out. Y'all scammed me behind my back. And honestly, I just had an epiphany about it. Because I'm like, bro, I've covered. Not even covered about it. I was just so sad about it for so long. I was so... I've been up over that pedo like 2 years, bro. And I haven't said nothing about it.
Now, for those of you who are probably looking at this screen, questionable, that is FaZe Rain, somebody who is a part of what the new age era calls the old FaZe. This isn't about, you know, Silky. This isn't about Ron. This isn't about Max, Rage, Lacey. This isn't about Jason. This isn't about any of those new guys. But it's about the old FaZe, the entire organization, and seemingly some secrets behind dealing with some children. Now, there were a lot of other things mentioned because that old FaZe generation, I've been noticing there's been a little bit of bitterness in the water, and some of them have spoken out since, but this is now just FaZe Rain's turn to kind of give his take and his opinion on this brotherhood that was established between these guys and what has happened since, you know, him distancing.
If we're being real though, like building FaZe, you know, as a brotherhood and then kicking everybody out, that's cold. That brother, he cold. You know what I'm saying? So I could get why you'll be mad. You know what I'm saying? They just kicked you out for the new kids. That's messed up right there, man. Anywho.
Himself since the changes, etc., etc. And honestly, it doesn't look the best. A video back in 2022 started some of his earlier grievances with the company and the brand itself.
This is a decade-long problem, man, with a lot of legal shit around it. So now it's turned into multiple problems. It's not just the initial problem I had in the beginning. It's a lot deeper than that. And yes, I'm going to say this now because they're probably going to try to say, well, he's only doing this because we owe him money and he's mad. They do owe me money, yes, and they haven't taken care of me, yes, and the money that I bought the Counter-Strike team for, it took him 6 years to pay me back, yes, I never got a dollar or a brand deal, yes, that's all true. They're gonna say that, and that is a frustration of mine, but I obviously held that in for years. I held that frustration in for years, and it was never the reason that I was gonna do this or speak publicly, because if they just owed me money, I would have handled it a different way. This is a lot deeper than that, and a lot of my brothers don't see the actual issue here. They are being taken advantage of.
But there's two things I took away from that in the research of this video is that one, this group things, there was a big brand buyout from FaZe. There was a lot of stuff going on legally, so I can understand how, you know, there might be some frustrations there. That stuff has already been squashed for the most part. You know, I know that there's still some people who are jaded about the situation, but nonetheless, that's not my business. But two, and most importantly, which leads us to this conversation today, is that he's still holding some stuff in. There's still some things that he's not 100% spilling the beans on, which leads us to these pedo allegations.
I wasn't even pushed out. I left. There's a fucking involved too, bro. I don't give a fuck if I get sued. I could give a fuck less. I always stand up for what's right. That was the final straw, bro.
Phew, if it's in your heart, brother, speak it. It's gonna come out eventually. Now, the only issue that I do have with what he said is not by saying the initial name in the beginning. There's a specific reason why, and I'll get...
It took him 2 years to say it. That's what it sounds like. It took you 2 years to say it. And yeah, that's the biggest thing, honestly.
To that in a minute. But if there is somebody who is out there touching and messing with kids, let the world know so we can shun them, so we can have the proper opinion on them, so we can understand who we're dealing with in real time. The reason why I did not like the fact that he kind of left it up to open air and interpretation is because, one, there are a lot of members in FaZe. My first thought was, who could this be? I went down the timeline, somebody threw out the name like Bronny James, and I was like, what? But then I had to realize Bronny is also a kid, so it definitely couldn't have been Bronny. But nonetheless, I also knew that a lot of people would be very, very mean in this conversation. There's two people in particular that I knew would probably get the brunt of this, and that is Max, because he just left, and then also Banks, because he is somebody who the internet feels very much up in the air about.
Originally, I thought it was Banks. Like, seeing the headlines and stuff, I thought it was Banks. I was like, oh yeah, they're cooked. They are done-zaroonie. But I'm happy to hear it's not Banks, honestly.
Especially after leaving the internet after seemingly scamming Aiden Ross and some other people out of some cryptocurrency. I knew that they would get unfair treatment in this conversation, so I am glad that Banks came out and actually cleared this up, because this is a serious allegation. Even if people feel like I should feel some sort of way about Banks, even if you feel some sort of way about Banks, yeah, he might have scammed some people. He does not need pedo allegations. That's crazy.
First thing I'm gonna say in this video is I'm not a Rain is not talking about me. There, I got it out. But yeah, I'm getting fucking spammed in my mentions right now on Twitter, asking if I'm a being accused that I'm a being tagged in this clip from FaZe Rain on Fearbuck. The first thing that needs to be addressed is obviously this shit. It's a very heavy accusation. It's a life-shattering, life-altering accusation. That's why this is the first time that I'm speaking about it. I have to speak about it now. Norton, pause. You're saying that FaZe Temper is a which that is who he's talking about in the clip. I'm like, whoa, that's Tommy. That's our brother. This is who we started this FaZe shit with. I'm calling him. That was the first thing I said. I'm calling him and I'm calling Apex, because apparently this is something Apex is aware of as well. Norton and Tommy, or Norton and Apex are the closest on the team. So obviously if Norton's gonna talk to anybody about anything and be transparent, it's Apex. Tommy's first initial knee-jerk reaction to all this shit was, what the fuck are you talking about? Norton, no, this is not what the conversation was like. You're misremembering, you're misinterpreting. Obviously, Rain is coming back, standing firm.
Banks goes on to pretty much say that after Rain tells him that Temper is this pedo, he then patches in Apex and Temper into the phone call, in which Temper refuses to acknowledge these accusations, says that, hey, you're misremembering these things, Rain, etc., and they go back and forth. But hearing from Rain, the person who's calling out this pedo in this situation, it seems that he has a pretty vivid memory as to what happened.
Tommy said this verbatim. He said it wasn't a threesome with two 16-year-olds. Actually, it was a 17-year-old. So all of a sudden now it's 17. One was 17 and the other one watched. That's what he said. And then he started bringing up all these random laws. I don't even know, these weird consent laws, like Romeo and Juliet, this, yada, I don't fucking know. And even Banks calls me after and he's like, bro, what the fuck is like up with that law shit that he brought up? So he knows he did some shit that was wrong. He knows that. It's just, I don't like the denying of it. And I feel like in this video, you're trying to paint me like I'm lying and making shit up and just saying shit to say shit when you know that's not the truth, bro.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard that. That's some weird stuff. But a lot of the FaZe group is weird. People were digging up Temper's tweets from 2012. Mind you, he was born in 93. That kind of validates some of these claims in the court of public opinion. I don't know. It's extremely, extremely nasty.
Odd, but I gotta be honest with you. I think it's just like this happened. This.
What? Kid, you hang out with 16-year-old girls, stop acting like they hard at, you know, mind your business. What if, I'm surprised stuff like this don't pop up sooner. What is this?
Like, dude, I guess
this is funny. This is 20 minutes ago. This is 20 minutes ago, and this says 2012. Bro, what?
I don't know the specifics of anything.
Now, there are wild accusations being thrown around the internet. And the beautiful thing about the internet, and I say this oftentimes, is that most of the time, the other person exists on the internet. So we don't have to wait too long to hear Temper give his actual opinions on this or what he's saying. And of course, it's filled with deflections and denial. And not that I'm saying that I've picked a side. I just think that it's very interesting as to how he says a bunch of stuff, and that bunch of stuff has nothing to do with the situation. His first video specifically.
The fact that I'm even having to respond to this and to that my name is in the same breath as the word is so sick, twisted, and insane. This is disgusting. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not that type of person. I am the furthest thing from what you called me. We're all shit-faced, and I end up going back with these girls to my hotel room. I slept with one of them, and I found out after that this girl was 17.
How could you go from denying to admitting all in the same breath? And look, the devil is in the details, because the way that Tommy or Temper or whatever his name is goes on to give 3 extra minutes of just story time about how he's a father, he proposed to his girl, etc., lets me know that he did do these things and he's not owning up to and admitting. But also there's some things that are important that he left out that don't line up with even Banks' story, like Banks and Rain's story, which I find to be very, very interesting.
I'm going to say about the Tommy situation because he made a video confirming it, but the details did get switched a little bit because originally it was 2 16-year-olds and it was a 17-year-old and one was watching, and now a 17-year-old and he didn't know her age. If you didn't know her age and you said that to us at least once, we wouldn't be here, bro. I would not have treated it the same way if you said you didn't know, because that changes everything. You never said that, not once. Literally not fucking once. This is news to me that you didn't know.
Yeah, like let's say you didn't know, right? Let's say it was completely like you're shit-faced. You didn't know. People are pretending like they're certain ages, but they're actually not. Shit happens. You find out. Like, I'm sure if you go and tell your boys, the first thing that's going to come out your mouth is, what the fuck? I had no idea that this and this and this and this happened. Bro, I don't even know, like, what the fuck's going on. Like, that's how you should be reacting. It shouldn't be, yeah, bro, I had a threesome with her. I thought that 8-year-old, bro. You know what I mean? There's a difference. There's a big difference. You know what I mean? And for him to say that he had no clue that even happened shows that, like, he probably didn't have, like, any remorse type shit, honestly. Or, like, didn't care, honestly. Or maybe he fucking knew, honestly. You know what I mean? But, yeah. It's weird. It's weird.
Another one bites the dust. Now, I want to be clear. This doesn't affect FaZe as a whole, and I'm not making some sweeping indictment on them. How this does affect the bigger group and the name and stuff like that going forward is, up to the internet's interpretation. But these are 2 dudes who have distanced themselves from the group, at least the new version of the group, publicly for a long time. I just think that it's so strange that we exist on the internet with all these people who have been touching and doing stuff to kids. Like, it's been a long time, which kudos to the fact that it's been a long time, because I remember we were going through a stretch of videos on this channel calling out preds. I'm talking people like Dr. Disrespect and the others that were dealing with children that were public facing on the internet. Weird shit like that. But listening to Marcus King's reaction about this situation made me really think about who people should be aligning with, whether it be from a fan's perspective or from, like, creating content's perspective.
That's why I'm telling you, I'm never, bro, that nigga will never see me in a group, because someone else being a weirdo in their own weird time could bring you the fuck down. You don't know what these niggas be doing in their free times, y'all. Fuck no, nigga.
YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, social media as a whole has been built off this concept of, like, idolization, envy, worship, all these other things like that for these figures at the top. People put them on a pedestal, but at the end of the day, not only are they not just human, but they're also some of the worst people in their free time. I can think of so many people over this past year or 2 years that I've covered on this channel talking about the weird stuff they've done in their free time. Whether it be Mr. Beast Chris Tyson, DJ Academics, Dr. Disrespect, FaZe Temper. There's just so many people that have been outed for doing a bunch of weird shit. And it's so sad because these people are aligned with people who are ultimately innocent, but those people's names will be dragged through the mud. Now, will the internet go on and pass? For sure. The North will remember, though. And it just is a message to anybody and everybody who is still out there idolizing anybody, putting people on a pedestal, and just not taking them for their entertainment value. One, they're probably weird. You don't know them like that. Keep that parasocial shit in the playground. And And then 2, and most importantly, watch who you align with.
You know, coming into this video, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was one of the recent FaZe members, but it being a past FaZe member doesn't really affect FaZe. Yeah, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if nobody told you today, I love you. Peace.